bunch to get through. We're going to start with something nice and easy. What are our four cases of congruency? Just zoom through them for me. You can pop them in the chat or you can pop your hand up. I just want to know my four cases are. Yusuf, what are my four cases of congruency?
Okay, side, side, side.
Side, side, side.
Side, angle, angle.
Side, angle, angle.
Side, right, I think right angle or something.
Right angle, hypotenuse, side.
And then I forgot the last one. I mean, side, okay, side, angle, side.
There we go, there we go, there we go. Nice, awesome. Okay, so we've got our four cases of congruency when we have two triangles that have exactly the same sides as each other. We can prove they're congruent if we can prove that they have a side and two angles. If we can prove that they have a right angle, a hypotenuse, and another side, or if we can prove that they have two angles with an included, two sides with an included angle. Okay, and what I mean by an included angle is it means that angle needs to be in between the two sides that we know. Okay. Marilla, how can I help?
Miss, what does RHS stand for?
RHS stands for right angle. That's the R. And then the H stands for hypotenuse. And the S stands for side.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're looking at this, that would be our right angle. That's our right angle. Then we would have our hypotenuse. So they would have to give us our hypotenuse. And then they would have to give us another side. There could have been the other side, but they have to give us one other one. Okay. Cool. Let's jump straight in. So before we do some proofs, I thought this would be a nice way for us to get into this. Let me sort of just put those there first. Actually, I think I can zoom in for you guys. There are three triangles here, but only two of these triangles are congruent to each other. So I want to know which two triangles are congruent to each other. And I want you to make sure that you're giving them to me in the correct order. So when you're labeling your triangles, make sure you've got your letters in the correct order and let me know which two triangles you're choosing. And when you're ready, pop your hand up and you can tell me what you think. Tell me what your answer would be. Let's see. Okay. Yes, tell me what my two triangles would be.
Triangle BCA and triangle QVW.
Okay, so triangle BCA and triangle
QVW.
VW. What would my reason be?
SAA.
Yes, nice, beautiful, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so we've got our first one. That's great. So what we could see here is that this triangle over here is congruent to this triangle over here. They have got the same side and they have got two corresponding angles that are equal to each other. Nice job. Okay, look at the next one for me. Two of those triangles are congruent. I want to know which two are congruent and I want to know the reason for that congruency.
Let's go, my peeps. We can do this.
Tell me which ones you think.
ABC is congruent to MPK.
MPK, I like it. What's my reason?
Side angle side.
Perfect. Yes, good. Okay, so this is like just quick congruency questions. They like to sometimes put these types of questions at the beginning of tests and exams as like a sort of almost like a warm-up to congruency. And generally these types of questions are worth 2 marks. So it's like really nice, easy marks if you know what you're talking about, which is awesome because it seems like you definitely do. Okay. Are we all happy up till this point? Does anyone have any questions with what they're seeing before we move down to some proofs? Is Yondela speaking for the class as a whole? Is that your spokesperson? All right.
Normally silence means no question, ma'am. We understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Okay, so we are going to start with this question over here. I'm just only for this first one, because it's the first one that we're doing for the evening. I'm going to write up the setup of what it needs to look like when we do a proper proof. So we're going to say in triangle and triangle, we're going to give 3 reasons. Then we're going to say, therefore, this triangle is congruent to this triangle because of this reason. You're going to think about your cases of congruency. Okay. Hannah, I'm going to put your name here because there's something that I'm going to talk about it. Okay. Don't worry, it doesn't mean you're in trouble, Hannah. It's just so that I don't forget. So it's like a little reminder to myself. Okay. So think about what this is going to look like. Make sure you have the whole idea written out and you're clear and you're happy with every step. And once you are, let us know and put your hand up and we can talk through it. But don't be scared of it. That's the most important thing. There's also multiple different ways of doing this question. So not all of yours would necessarily look the same.
We noted, Hannah. I'm sure Jan can see that comment.
Hannah, I won't unmute you unless you put your hand up. Otherwise, if you don't put your hand up, I promise I wouldn't just randomly unmute you. Don't worry.
But Burlington, I don't know how to pronounce that name, you see?
Burlington, have you got some
Burlington.
answers for us?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me, I'm going to start this.
Triangle ABC.
Okay.
Triangle ABC and triangle DEC.
Okay, cool. What would my first reason be?
The first reason would be AC is equals to DC.
Okay, and what's my reason for that?
Your reason for that is
You're doing so well.
side.
Oh, you're just saying why these two sides are equal to each other, and all we'd have to say is because it's been given to us.
Oh yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Then
What's my next one?
BC is equals to CE.
Okay. So is there any line on that line or line on that line?
No.
No. So if they haven't given us a line, then we can't say that they're equal.
Okay, so I'll say AB is equals to DE.
Okay. So this actually is going to link to what I wanted to talk to Hannah about. What do these arrows mean? What do those mean as a symbol? Parallel, right? Okay, good. So those little arrows are telling me that AB is parallel to DE. Okay. Can I ask you a question though? If I have a line like this and a line like that, are those lines parallel that I've just drawn?
Let me see. Yeah, no.
Why would you say that they're not parallel?
No, because the bottom. Wait, the smaller line is not the same length as the bottom line.
So the thing is, with parallel lines, they don't have to be equal to be parallel. So those are definitely parallel lines. They're not equal to each other, but they are parallel. So I could have a line like that, and I could have a line like that, and I could have a line like that, and all of those lines are parallel, but they're not the same length as each other. So parallel doesn't mean that they're equal. It just means that they're parallel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to move on to Nam to see if he can help us out with our next part, but I hope that that makes some sense. Hannah, I hope that that also made some sense with one of the reasons that you said as well. And Nam, can you help me out with my next one?
Yes, ma'am. I said B, C with a copy A equals DC with a copy E.
Good.
Reasons vert opposite angles equal.
Perfect. Okay, vert up angles are equal. Nice. Okay, so this angle is equal to that angle. Cool. Can you give me another one?
No, ma'am. I didn't find the other one.
Okay, guys, when we see parallel lines, as soon as our brain sees parallel lines, whether we're dealing with geometry or we are dealing with congruency, as soon as we see parallel lines, what are the 3 letters we're going to think of? What are the 3 letters we're going to think of when we see parallel lines? We're going to think of fun. Okay, you see parallel lines, you need to think of fun.
Exactly. Or America.
Yes, for America. So if you have a look at this, see if you can now find one. There we go. A is equal to D. Okay, there we go. So now we can see that this angle is equal to that angle. So angle A is equal to angle D because they are alternates. Alt angles are equal when AB is parallel to DE. Okay, they alternate. You could have also said that this angle here is equal to that angle there for the same reason. It just depended on which one you wanted to use. Okay, so now let's have a look at what we've done. We've got a side over here, then we've got an angle, and then we've got another angle. And so we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEC because of side, angle, angle. 5 marks. How did this one go? Can you give me an idea of like a mark out of 5 that you were sitting on with this type of question? Okay. Not bad, not bad. Too well done. You said SSA. So it can't be SSA because they haven't given us another side. They've given us an angle. They've given us another angle, and they've given us one side. C1. Braden, that's fine. If in your picture you wrote a 1 and a 2, then that's fine. Why am I seeing some zeros? We should never be in a situation of 0 because we can always at least like make our statement. And so like this, okay, this one and this one, those ones should be guaranteed. Cool. Okay, let's try another one. If you want to take a screenshot, take a screenshot. The most important thing to take from this question is that lines can be parallel, but that does not mean that AB is not always equal to DE. Like that. I feel. I mean, in this case, it's unfortunate because in this case, they are equal to each other. But if they are parallel, it doesn't mean that they are necessarily equal. So think about this as your example. Okay, cool. Let's try another one. See how you can go through this. Make sure you set it up correctly. Statement, like you're identifying your triangles. 1, 2, 3, conclusion. And if you're needing help, just let us know. Yeah, Hannah, perfect. So you can say CD equals CD, or you could say CD is common. Absolutely. Perfect. You've definitely got a common line there. Yeah, you can make that your reason. 100% fine with that. So I'll make this a little bit thicker so that you can see. And when you're happy with all 3 steps, pop that hand up for me and we'll go through it. I'm just going to write our little reasons here. I'd love to hear from someone we haven't heard from today yet. Christabel, that's great. What you just seen. Perfect. Why must Brayden answer? He's not supposed to answer if he doesn't want to. Sure, that was a short-lived lifespan as spokesperson.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like
Yandela.
with the
You've been
so
voted off the
fun.
island. If we yeah, see when you're comfortable, make sure you've got all of your different steps written up. And as soon as you're happy, let's
Yeah,
see.
because Ntisheko is ready, guys. Ntisheko is like, I'm ready. So y'all,
Should we just give them their time to shine?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, you're going to
Then-
talk us through from the beginning until the end. What
Yes,
color would
ma'am.
you like me to work with?
Any, ma'am.
Any. Oh, I have so much power. Okay. Okay. Oh, I feel stressed. I'm just staying with green. Okay. Talk me through from
Yes,
the
ma'am.
beginning. Imagine that we are in an exam situation and I'm just like basically your scribe. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In triangle ADC and triangle BCD, CD is common. And then BD is equals to AD because it's given.
Oh, slow down, slow
And
down. I
then
got as
I
fast as
said
you. Hold on,
full-
wait. Okay, cool. I've got 3. Okay.
Well, so I gave C numbers.
Okay, like that.
So I say, yes, ma'am. I said C1 is equals to C2 because of adjacent supplement sides.
Okay, so angles on a straight line.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Okay, therefore.
And triangle ADC is equals to triangle BDC, and then the reason is SAA.
S. Did you say SAS?
AS. Yes, ma'am.
That's the one thing I'm not happy with.
Oh, ma'am, SAA.
No. So, okay, so let's just chat. You're definitely on the right track. You have an angle, you have a side, and you have a side, right? So I can see why you're saying SAS. But remember,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
SAS, the angle has to be in between those 2 sides, and it's not in this situation. But
Oh,
if we
yes,
look at
ma'am.
what we've been given a right angle. We've been given, so there's my right angle. Oh, goodness. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
A hypotenuse and a side. So it's going to be RH.
Yes, ma'am. RH is.
Yeah. Nice job. Awesome.
Thank you, ma'am.
4 out of 5 is not bad.
Well
Not
done.
bad
That
at all.
was really good.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Okay, so give yourself some marks. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You coming to Cape Town on holidays to visit my cat. I don't think my cat's going to be very cooperative. She's not really a people person. 5 out of 5. Not bad.
My pips, you guys are doing the thing.
Crystal, just keep working. You'll get there. It'll start clicking, I promise. Okay. Let's try one more before our brain break. Oh no, you got to do your math test today. Oh, that's so irritating. And we are like
Anna.
literally one lesson behind. Oh,
Sorry, Anna, but now you know.
yeah, now you know. And so at the end of the year, you'll know. Okay, let's try one more and then we'll have a brain break.
Let's go, my babes.
Okay,
Yay.
let's see.
Dabuya. Let's go. Let's do this, peeps. This is like a question that feels like heart wings. I love it.
Ophelia, that's like the last step is coming to terms with that situation. We have so much to do before we can say what our reasons are.
Umpile is like, I already know, guys. This is assumption, Umpile.
Just remember, like, look at what you've been given and then think about, as soon as you see parallel lines, think about what that means. So when you see parallel lines, think about what that means. Jasmine, what is this ... for? Are you not enjoying this question? Are you not sure where to start? Let me know. I'm happy to help if it's coming from a place of confusion. Okay. So, Jasmine, my advice to you is look for, firstly, the first step whenever we are in a congruency situation is, before we go into any kind of panic, is we look and we take a highlighter and we highlight the triangles that we're working with, and we write that as our very first step. So that's like a guaranteed step. We can't go wrong because we can see which triangles we're working with. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is look at what they've given you and write down those as reasons. So in this case, they've given you two things. So write down those two things that they've given you. And then third thing, look at what you can solve. So you should be guaranteed at least 3 out of 5 without having to think about anything. So Aurora is saying absolutely DC is parallel to EB, but remember that doesn't mean that they're equal. So think about what the parallel lines mean. If they parallel, what could we, well, like how could we use that to help us solve for something? So think about fun. As soon as you see parallel lines, your brain needs to go to fun and think, how can I use fun to find myself an angle? Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. And are you ready to go through it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a specific color you would like to use?
Yes, ma'am. Blue, please.
Blue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go. From the beginning, I'm ready.
I said in angle ADC.
Triangle, but yes.
Oh, triangle and triangle BCE.
Okay. Yeah.
I said number 1, AC equals CB, which is given.
Good.
And I said D equals C. The reason alt angles equals DC is parallel to EB.
D equals C. Okay. Okay. I see where you're going. But the problem with that, so you're talking about this angle here and this angle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but do you see how this angle isn't in either of my triangles?
Oh, then which one must I use for alternate then?
No, so you don't need to use alt, but you can use corresponding.
I use that for A and C.
Okay, but for A and C, they've already told you that they're the same because they told you that they're 90.
Then when you go D, angle D and E then?
Angle D and E we also wouldn't be able to use. So I'm going to write what you've just said now here. Angle A is equal to angle C, and that's just being given to us because they, let me just put that in, because they're 90 degrees. Okay, so go with what you were thinking with corresponding, I'm going to highlight something that might help. Okay. Do you see the F?
Let me just turn my iPad around.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So which angles in that F would be equal to each other?
If you like put maybe, what is it? Let's say you put a number by the C there, you can make the C and B, right?
Yeah,
C1
exactly.
with B. You can make
Exactly.
C1 with B.
Okay, so angle C1 is going to be equal to angle B, and then my reason for that would be corresponding.
Corresponding.
Angles. Exactly. Okay. All right. So now, what is my conclusion?
In triangle ADC
Okay.
equals triangle BCE.
Careful, make sure that your angles are the same as each other. So if you're starting with your right angle, what would I start with here?
CBE.
C.
CEB.
There we go.
CEB.
CEB. Okay. And what would my reason be?
SAS.
S.
SAA.
So we have. There we
SAA.
go. So we got an angle, a side, and another angle. So we're gonna have SAA. There we go. We got through it enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Okay. This one I feel like caused a little bit of confusion for people. So can you please ask questions? Like either pop your hands up so I can chat to you and we can go through what you were struggling with, or pop it in the chat for me. But if there were things that you were not understanding, I really would like us to make sure that you do understand what's going on. DC parallel to EB, reason vert up angles. Okay, so Tejo, these two lines here, they are definitely parallel. Okay, that's right, they are parallel. But parallel lines will never, ever, ever be one of these reasons, because parallel lines don't mean that the sides are the same as each other. We have to use parallel lines to find which angles will be equal. So we have to try and say, because these lines are parallel, which ones would be equal? And in that case, we can look at the F for corresponding, and then we can see that C1 is the same as B. Apiwe, how can I help?
Hello, ma'am. Could I have used angle C1 and E?
Angle C1 and E.
Alternate angles.
No, so the ones that are alternate would be C2 and E.
Okay.
So you could have done it in two steps. You could have said angle D is equal to angle C2 because of alt angles. And then you could have said angle C2 is equal to angle E because of alt angles. Therefore, angle D is equal to angle E, but that would just have taken a lot more steps.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's have a look. How is C1 corresponding? Okay. Yeah, it looks messy. You're gonna need to turn around either your head if you're on a desktop, or whatever you're working on. Try and turn it a little bit. So what I'll do here is just highlight it again for you. So there's our one parallel line, and there's our other parallel line. That's our transversal lines. That's the line that cuts our parallel lines. And then when we have corresponding angles, it's the angles that are below and the angles that are above. So do you see how this angle is between our parallel line and the straight line? And this angle is between our parallel line and our straight line. So those two angles are corresponding to each other. And that's why that they would be equal. If you said RHS, we wouldn't be able to say RHS. The reason we wouldn't be able to do that is because, yes, they have given us a right angle, they have given us a side, but they haven't given us a hypotenuse. And so because they haven't given us a hypotenuse, we can't say RHS. We have to say SAA. Just be careful. Your teachers like to trick you and see, because they know as soon as you see a right angle, you're going to think it's RHS. So they're going to try and trick you. Would I be wrong if I used interior angles? So looking at co-interior angles. I don't see how using co-interior angles in this case would be, you would have to use multiple steps, which would be a bit of a pain. You'd get there, it would just take lots of steps. Okay, we're gonna zoom to a quick brain break. It's not a long one. It's a nice short one. It's a maths one. You just have to solve what the line is based on the different things. It's nice and easy. It's not too mean on your brain. Nice easy break. And then we're gonna jump into a few more proofs. We're gonna see how tricky of proofs we can do today. Okay, let's see. So let's see how this one goes. We had someone solve it very, very quickly in our last class. So we will see if you can beat their time. I'm looking for what the question mark is. Yes, sir. Have you solved it already?
Ma'am, this one was very simple.
Okay, what number do you get?
I think it's 216. I mean 18. 18.
You are incorrect.
What? Oh, wait, can I just
Oh, after saying this one is so simple.
Oh, I made a mistake.
Fatima has stolen your thunder. The glory goes to Fatima in this question. Fatima, you were very, very fast, but you weren't quite fast enough to beat Kieran in our last class. But you were very, very fast. Did anyone get anywhere close to 40? Or are you also dealing with these 200s? Oh, you also got 40. So we just have to believe you, Yondela, even though we have no proof. Okay, I see, I see. Okay, around 30, 39, okay. 27.2, a P-way. I'm never going to give you something that's a decimal. Okay, let's have a look. So 20 times 10 is going to give us 200. 10 times 16 is going to give us 160. 20 plus 28 is going to give us 48. So we've got 10, we've got 16, and then there are 2 pies here and only 1 pie here, which is going to be 40. So 10 plus 16 plus 14 is 40. Those of you who are getting 54, you were tricked. There are 2 pies, and here there is only 1 pie. So that's why it's only 14 and not 28. Apiwe, I'm very curious though how you got a decimal number. That's, yeah, I'm very curious. Nice job, Fatima, though. Smashed it. Well done, well done. Okay, I'm going to zoom off here and we're going to move into a couple more proofs. This is the last lesson we're spending on congruency. On Thursday, we're going to move into similarity. You said 48 divided by 20. Oh, divided. Oh, that's irritating. Sorry. Okay. Thursday, we're going to move into some similarity. So this will be our last day on congruency. So I want to make sure I give you some nice, juicy ones. Let's do this one. Okay. I'm wanting to prove these 2 triangles are congruent to each other. Start the way we've always been starting. Write which 2 triangles you're talking about. Think about your 3 reasons. Yeah, only 1 brain break today. We didn't have time, guys. These questions take too long. We need to spend more time on them to get through them. Oh, no. I promise next week, because I know you guys will be on holiday, that I will give you a little bit more brain breaks to make it as enjoyable as maths can be during your holiday. I'll try and put a few more brain breaks in there. Okay, but at the moment, all we're trying to do is we're trying to prove that these two triangles are congruent to each other. So let's see. Brian is not up for adoption. Brian is in a very happy, loved family. The meetings? Oh, no, we're saying the meet. So these lessons are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on Thursday, you'll have a quiz at the end of it. Okay. Colofelo, are you happy and ready with an answer, or is this a question? Just unmute yourself when you're ready.
It's an answer.
It's an answer. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me how I could start this question.
So triangle MEN equals to
Oh, hold on.
triangle SEW
And
triangle SEW.
Okay.
Reason number one is EN is equals to EW.
Good.
And that's given.
Good.
And then I said E1 equals to E2 because of vert-up angles.
Good.
And then I don't know the others because I can see these X there, but yeah, that's all I have.
What do those X's mean?
Yeah.
Think about it like this. If I had a triangle that looked like this, okay, and I had one angle that was an X and one angle that was a Y, would you say that those angles are the same, or would you say that they're different?
They're different.
Okay. And if I had another X over there, would you say that those two angles are the same, or would you say they're different?
They're the same.
Okay. So if we're looking at this, and this angle has an X and this angle has an X, what does it mean about those angles?
Means that they're gonna be the same.
Exactly. Okay. So those X's are telling us that those two angles are the same as each other. So how could I write that as a sentence?
I don't know.
Yeah.
MX equals to
So
SX.
we can just say angle M. So we're just talking about this angle is equal to which angle?
S.
Yeah. Okay. And you can say it's equal to X, but you don't have to. And our reason for that is just that it's been given to us. So they gave it to us because they told us that they're the same.
Yes.
Okay. So here we have a side, here we have another side, and oh no, sorry. Here we have an angle and then we have another angle. So what would our end statement have to be? So we would say, therefore, triangle MEN is congruent to triangle SEW, and our reason is going to be side angle. Do we have to solve for X? You absolutely do not have to solve for X in these questions. 100% no, you only solve for X if they ask you to solve for X. This X, all this X is meaning, the only thing that X means is that those angles are the same. That's the only thing that X means. So this X and this X, is all it's doing is it's helping us with that line over there. Piwe, how can I help?
Ma'am, would I have been wrong if I said therefore triangle MNE is equal to triangle SWE?
No, that's fine.
Thank you.
Sure. How did this one go? Did the X's confuse anyone? Were you okay with the X's? Did you know what they meant? Give me an idea of how this question went in general. If you were able to get all of them, or if you were able to at least get 2. Think about it. Always think about all of these at the moment as a mark out of 5. So think about if you did your first statement, your 3 reasons and then your final statement. Let me know how this went. Lost by the X's. Okay, that's fine. Do the X's make sense now or not? Good. Okay. Cool. Nice. You guys are doing very, very well. Let's try another one. Let's try find one that's nice and spicy. Nice spicy question. That one's not spicy enough. This is quite spicy. I don't hate this question. I'm only going to worry about what B is asking.
Come on, guys. Ooh. Let's do this.
So, well, actually, I think A will actually help you a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you with A, and then I'm going to let you try B by yourselves. So A is saying, what type of triangle is triangle ABC? What type of triangle is triangle ABC? Who can tell me what type of triangle? Okay, how do we know it's an isosceles triangle? How do we know it's an isosceles triangle? You're definitely right. It definitely is an isosceles triangle. Mara, how do we know that it's an isosceles triangle?
They have 2 equal sides.
2 equal sides?
Yes.
Have they told us that those sides are equal yet though?
No. I don't
No.
think so.
What have they told? Yes, good. They've told us that the angles are equal. Exactly. So they've told us that this angle over here is equal to that angle over there. Okay. So that's telling us that this is an isosceles triangle. All right. Okay. I'm just going to put that in your heads. Then the second part of this question is saying, cool, now that you know that that's an isosceles triangle, could you solve for this triangle being congruent to this triangle? So let's see. Let's see if you can. I want you to think about the information you've just told me, and I want you to tell me what my congruency proof would be for these 2 triangles. Londiso, absolutely. Just be careful of how you're going to write that out. I will be so freaking excited if someone gives me the correct rule for one of these things, because we haven't actually spoken about it together as a class, but some of you may have done it in school. So I will be very excited if someone can tell me the real reason. Tejo, that's a great start. Oh wait, just be careful with your second side. BD is great though. Sum of angles in a triangle. You're telling you don't have enough angles. You've already got 1 angle. You've got this angle over here. We don't have enough for that. AD and AE. No. No, I think I might have found one that might be tripping you guys up. I think I finally found a goodie here. Jasmine, how can I help?
Okay, is it angle, the B is the angle, right?
Yes. Are you
So
going to
B-
start from the beginning? So how would I start this?
No.
In?
I want
No.
to ask something regarding
Okay.
my answer.
Okay.
So I don't B is equal to C as an
Yes.
angle.
Yes.
So is that correct?
That's 100% correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no problem. BD and EC. Yes, Amphile, absolutely. Oh, angle A is definitely not common. It was one of my traps. The reason A is not common is because it's actually not in both. Those are two separate angles. They're not in both of the triangles. Oh my goodness, Rory-san, yes. Freaking glorious. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to just put that in writing as to what you've just said in the chat over there. Okay, so trying to combine what you guys have said. The first thing we're doing is we're going to identify our triangles. Oh, someone doesn't like this light blue. It doesn't show up nicely on their screen. Okay, so in triangle ABD and triangle ACE. Okay, we always do the ones that have been given to us first, the ones that are nice and easy. Okay, so BD is equal to EC, that has been given to us, and that's a side. Then we can say angle B is equal to angle C, that's been given to us, and that's an angle. Okay, and then what Rory-san just said, which was beautiful, is that AB is equal to AC because B is equal to C, okay? And the reason for that is sides opposite equal angles. So remember when we learned isosceles triangles, like if, let me just draw it a little bit bigger, like if this was 60 and that was X, you would say X is equal to 60 because of angles opposite equal sides. This is using that logic, but it's literally backwards. So instead of saying angles opposite equal sides, we're saying sides opposite equal angles. So we're saying because these two angles are the same, these two sides are the same. And so then it's telling us that AB is equal to AC. So now we've got our final side, and we can say, therefore, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACE because of side angle side. How cool is that question? Isn't that a cool rule? It's such a cool one when you just sneaks in there. You forgot about that one. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. So just be careful, AD is actually not in both of the triangles. So we can only say something is common if it's in both triangles. It wasn't cool. Christopher was like, no, I do not appreciate this at all. It's okay. Okay, let's try and fit in one. Oh, you forgot. I think, Brayden, I think we can squeeze in one tiny little question. I'll make it a nice easy one. Let's just do this one quickly. I know we hardly have any time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write the first steps for you. So in triangle ACE and triangle ADB. Okay. So all I need here are my 3 reasons and my final congruency reason. It is a kite, yes, but they haven't told us that. So because they haven't told us that, we can't say CB is equal to DB. So when you have one, just pop it in the chat and I will pop it on the board. So as soon as you've got a statement and a reason, put it in the chat for me. AB is common, absolutely. AB is common, and that is a side. AD is equal to AC, given. Cool. I need one more. Yeah, okay, so this angle is equal to this one. So I'm going to say angle CAB is equal to angle DAB, and that has been given to us. Okay, this was a side, this is an angle. Our side is in between, so we can say SAS. 5 marks. So DB is equal to CB. It absolutely is, but they haven't told us that. And so because they haven't told us that, we're not allowed to make it a reason. We can only put reasons of the things that they've said. Nice job, guys. You did really well today. I'm so proud of you all.